Yo, what is going on, guys? Your boy Sister here, bringing you guys a Cinema 4D tutorial, and this is actually gonna be the basics of Lightrooms and stuff. So yeah, someone requested this, and I was like, I can show you guys some of the settings you can actually use in like different type of ideas of like how to use the lights and all the different types. So it's gonna be a nice, really quick and really informal. Is that the word I'm looking for? And yeah, so you guys have the basics and a good grasp of how to do Lightrooms. So yeah, you can see here I'm actually rotating around the overhead softbox light. You probably see this a lot in all the default Lightrooms and stuff by famous or known people or whatever. And it's basically like a preset light. It's just a really good light to use. So if you want to have this, you can actually download in the description below. And yeah, so you can have it. And it's going to actually come with the overhead softbox along with the softbox material. And it's actually going to come with, if you actually go to the render settings, it's going to come with the render settings that I use, which is the sharpen filter and the ambient inclusion. Which if you don't use ambient inclusion, and you wonder why your renders are like looking all weird and not like super amazingly quality and stuff, use this, and I promise to everything's gonna be perfectly fine with you. You're gonna be like, I feel like my renders are hot. So yeah, it's gonna come with that. So yeah, let's get started. So I actually have the tutorial text already set up. It's the era, and actually has materials on it already set for us. So there we go. Zoom in a little bit. So right away, when you do your own Lightroom, you want to have a camera. So you obviously know if this is where like my, if I place the AI in, this is where it ends up right here, like right dead smack in the middle. So you want to have a camera here. So if you go to camera, you can actually drag it all the way down. It's not necessary, but I just do it so it's not in the way or whatever. And if you click on the camera, you can see if you click on this little black box, it turns to white. And if you click on the white box, it turns back to black. It's actually two angles. So if you click on the white box right here, as soon as like you have your AI placed in, you want to click on this little thing so it's white. And then so afterwards you actually click on this and it turns to black. And if you were to rotate around and then you want to start doing your render, you want to save your angle, you can actually move around all that stuff, mess around with your Lightroom, mess around with your render, and then if you click back on the little black box, it turns to white again, and it goes right back to the angle. So if you don't know about cameras, this is your little introduction. It's actually really good to have in your Lightroom. So any other thing too, it can work around with intros and stuff too, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, let's get started, boys. If we click on the little light, we have four different types of lights. We have the standard regular old light, which is just basically, the light. There's not much to say. It's called Omni. I don't know how to say that word or whatever. And then you have the spotlight. It's just basically what it says, the spotlight. And then it has the infinity light, which is I'm not going to work with. Don't even attempt. It's dumb. And then it has the area light, which is basically like the softbox, but besides like the thing in the back. So if I got rid of the softbox light right now, you can see how it kind of just basically a face of light. And yeah, so like I said, I would show you guys like some of the cool things you can do with them. So obviously you can start off with the basic. You probably see this a bunch. Let me lower the opacity on this this intensity on this softbox really quick, because I'm gonna be adding more lights, so you don't want to have too much light. You can have this light sometimes you see the lights on the corner. So if I'm gonna put them on the corner here and corner there, make sure they're not super far away like they are. Let me move this up. So I'm gonna put them at the corner. I'm just showing you guys what I would do or how you would go about it. How would you look at it? I'm just definitely missing the whole entire text too. Good job, me. Alright, so yeah, you see the light is super intense right now. So lower that. Obviously you just see the word intensity on the generals. Whatever light you're using, you just lower the intensity. Same thing with this side. It's just too much. So yeah, you can just mess around with it. If you want to actually have one side brighter than the other, you just up one side up, and then you can also put one in the middle or to face it, just to brighten up a little bit more. And then you can also put one all the way in the bottom. I'm just basically showing you what you would go through the mind process of what you're making your own Lightrooms. This is not how to make a Lightroom, which is basically ideas for your Lightroom. And if I put one on the bottom, you can see if I put one on the bottom, if you look in the inside, if I put the intensity up, the intensity brings out the inside of the render. So obviously everything else got all brightened up, so you gotta lower the opacity all over again on some of these stuff. So it's basically a lot of tedious work to make the lighting work. And so yeah, so that's one thing. That's the light, the regular old default light. So if we go to spotlight, it's actually cool things you can do with this. You can actually have the light either facing on. Let me put the opacity up, and let me put the opacity up on this a little bit. There we go. So yeah, if I have the opacity up on this, you can see with the spotlight, it just picks a general spot. Like I said, you can actually go to the details, and if you go to outer angle, you can put that up, and it puts the radius of the little spotlight up, and you actually mess around with it. So if I rotated this, and put this on like a really cool like little axis, like so, and just like lower. Let me just mess around with the camera angle really quick. So if I put it like here, like facing, you see how that, see what I'm trying to say? Like the cool things you can do about it. Obviously, this is only working right now because I have the error text. If I was making my own standard one, I'd probably make it a little more bigger, and so on and so forth. So yeah, you can see how this works. If I put my intensity down, you see it actually does a lot of work, kind of like more facing on the bottom. It's just basically how you like your lighting. There's nothing much else to say. That's one of the cool things you can do with that. Or you can like put it facing on the bottom or the other side. You're just having, this is basically just, I don't know what else to say besides your own personal preference. And the next light you can use, which is the area light. What this is basically the same thing as a softbox. I think I said that before, but the overhead softbox, but just without the thing in the back. It's just basically like a square of light. That's basically what it is. You can see how this works. Let's see how I pass it by. See how this works. So yeah, it's just, it's really cool. You can have this like on the corner, or like facing like one side over here. Let me just show you what I mean. Like one side right here. Just lower the opacity a little bit. See how the light just kind of looks nice that way? It's like it's a little bit darker on this side, a little bit lighter on that side. Obviously, if you don't like that, you don't like it. You can duplicate it and just like put it on this side afterwards, and then maybe like make it smaller and move it side. Boom. And then just mess around with it. I mean, there's nothing else besides to say just mess around. Lower the opacity on this if you like one side brighter than the other. And then so yeah, you can also do something cool. Let me show you guys something. If you click on the light, if you click on array, you can actually plug the light. So if I drag the light inside the array till the arrow's pointing down, you can see this array of lights. So this is actually something you can use. It's just multiple lights in a circle, like a really nice perfect circle, so you don't have to like tediously place like, oh my god, I gotta do this right. You can actually change the number of copies. So obviously the more copies, the more intense it is, and more really dull. Like, don't do that. Don't go that far up. Don't even go like past 15 or something. Like a 6 is like a good number. See how that works. And you actually change the radius too. So if you want to like get all these like angles like in a, I don't know, lit up, you can just use the array and then just change the radius to like a little bit more bigger, and then just like lower the opacity, the intensity of the light. And then something else you can do if you feel like working around with like putting color in your light, and you actually put color in your light, you have this little color tab right here. You can mess around with the color. And obviously this is really weird and tedious work if you want to really go about this. But I say, leave it white. But obviously if you want to change it around, you can be different, I don't know, maybe find a new style that has something to do about the lights and stuff. I don't know. I haven't messed around with it that much. But you can see, like, hopefully I gave you, like, the certain ideas and the general, the approach of doing Lightrooms and stuff. So it's basically, like, your own tedious Lightroom work of, where do you want the light to shade, where do you want the light to be at, like, what corners. And, yeah. Render settings is a big deal, by the way, too. So, like I said, I have ambient, occlusion, sharpen. You can also put all these other effects if you, like, look up what they do. I know like glow is a good one. You can do all this other cool stuff like object glow. Puts a little bit glow on everything, solely, along with if you put out object glow on your material. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy, and you can go ahead and go make your own Lightroom and know what you're doing and stuff. So yeah, this is a really cool tutorial, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and do my own little exclusive Lightroom right after this because I feel like I need to and I want to. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and you get your basics in your Lightrooms, and you can like the video, comment as you wish, and maybe give me any ideas for any tutorials you want to see next time, and so switch you out, guys.